Welcome back to Musician's Edition. Today we're looking in our Essential Elements Mallets book at number 112, All Through the Night. So there are a couple different things we need to talk about in this piece, but the first thing, like we talked about last time, is the time signature and key signature, right? So we see our time signature is 4/4, right? So we're counting to 4 by the quarter note, right? And then we have B flat, E flat, and A flat in our key signature, right? So like the last video that we did, that tells us we're in E flat major, right? However, if we look through the piece, you can see there are a bunch of D flats, right? And in fact, every single D that we see in this piece is marked as flat, right? So instead of this piece actually being an E flat major, right, we're actually thinking about the A flat major scale here, because our A flat major scale has B flat, E flat, A flat, like we have in our key signature, and then also D flat, which is the accidental that we see, right? This is something that happens sometimes in music. You'll see a key signature, and then in a certain part of the music, there will be accidentals that tell us we're actually in another key here for a little bit, right? And in this case, it's the whole piece, right? So instead of using our E flat major scale to warm up for this one, we're going to warm up with our A flat major scale, right? So we're going to start on A flat, and we're going to play to the other A flat, and we're going to include B flat, E flat, and D flat in between, right? So we're really thinking 4 flats here: B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, right? In the key of A flat major. Okay? So let's try that scale in quarter notes, nice and easy, starting on A flat, just so we get a feel for the shape of the keys that we're going to use for this piece, okay? So we're thinking A flat, B flat, C natural, D flat, E flat, F natural, G natural, A flat. That gives us our whole scale, okay? So let's try this, nice and easy. Ready, go. All right, and as always when we're practicing our scales, we want to think about moving those hands to the next note as soon as you play the previous note and trying to get them in position as quickly as we can, okay? Now that we've got that scale under our hands, let's find the arpeggio in this key, right? So remember, to find an arpeggio in a key, we find the first, third, and fifth note of the scale, and then we add the top note of the scale or the 8th step of the scale, right? So the first note in the scale is A flat, right? Third note is C. The 5th note is E flat. And the 8th note, right, or the top note of the scale, is A flat again. Okay? So we put our arpeggio together: A flat, C, E flat, A flat. Okay? And I'm going to again start this with the left hand, so that when I jump up to A flat, I can do that big jump from E flat to A flat with my right hand, okay? So let's try this arpeggio, starting with the left hand. Ready, go. All right, then once you're comfortable with the scale, you're comfortable with the arpeggio, let's put them both together. We'll play the scale all the way through, and then the last note of the scale, when we get all the way back down to the bottom, that's the first note of the arpeggio. And we're going to start this whole thing with our left hand so that we can play the arpeggio left hand lead, okay? Here we go, 1, 2, ready, go. All right? Once you're comfortable with the scale and arpeggio, then we can start looking at the piece. Now we have a good feel for the shape of the keys, right, or the collection of notes that we're using for this piece, and we can start looking at the piece itself, right? So one thing we have to look at is a rhythm that's a little bit unfamiliar, which is a dotted quarter note followed by an 8th note, right? So remember, anytime we add a dot to a note, we increase the value of that note by half of its original value, right? So if we take a quarter note and add a dot to it, we take the original 1 beat of the quarter note, right? Cut that in half, which gives us half of a beat, add that to the original 1, and then we get 1.5 beats, right? So a dotted quarter note lasts 1.5 beats. There's a decent explanation of that at the top of this page in the yellow box. So you can always check that for review, right? But we're thinking 1.5 beats, right? So at the very beginning, we have a dotted quarter note on beat 1, right? So that's gonna last all of beat 1 and the first half of beat 2. And then the eighth note after that is gonna be the second half of beat 2, right? Or what we call the and of 2, right? So we're thinking 1 and 2 and 3, right? And then the quarter notes are on 3 and 4 in that first measure, right? 1 and 3, 4, right? 1 and 3, 4. And we have the same rhythm in the first 2 measures, right? So all we have to do now is find the notes that we got to use here and then lay those on top of the rhythm, right? So we see A flat as our first note, right? The top note of the scale that we just played. And then we're moving by step down to F, and then we skip up to A, right? So we're thinking A flat, G, F, back to A flat. So let's try that first measure. Ready, go. Okay? In the next measure, we start on B flat above the A flat where we started. So that's here, right? And then we move by step down to beat 3. 1 and 2 and 3, right? And then E flat is on beat 4. So we move by step to G and then skip to E flat. Okay? And you can see on beat 4, we probably want to play that with our left hand so we don't have to cross our right hand over if we can. And we can do that fairly easily by making sure our right hand lines up on the B flat on beat 1, right? So here's measure 2 again. Ready, go. Okay, so now let's put those 2 measures together. And ready, go. Okay, and then in measure 3, a little different rhythm. We have a half note on beat 1, and then we see the dotted quarter note, eighth note combination again starting on beat 3, right? So the F half note is going to be 1, 2, and then G on beat 3, and then G again on the and of 4, right? So we're thinking half note, and then 3, and 1, right? And that takes us to A flat, right? We're just moving by step here, okay? So measure 3 is going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, okay? And then you see we have a roll on beat 1. That's a dotted half note, so we're going to roll for 3 beats and release that roll on beat 4. You see we also have a decrescendo through that measure, so we're going to start our roll and then get softer throughout those 3 beats, okay? So let's try measure 3 plus measure 4. And ready, go. Okay? So there's the first 4 measures. Let's go ahead and put all of that together, all right? From the beginning all the way to the end of measure 4. And ready, go. Okay? Now after that, you can see we're just moving by step, right? And we're using the same notes from the scale that we played earlier, right? So really the only thing we have to really track, since we're used to playing that scale now, is when we go up and when we go down. And we can see it all moves by step until we get to the very last measure. And then we have a jump from B flat up to E flat at the very end, right? You can also see at the end we have that dotted quarter note, eighth note rhythm again, right? 1 and 3, right? So let's try that for measure 5. Just using the shape of that A flat major scale, tracking where we go up and where we go down, right? And then we'll catch the skip at the very end, okay? So starting at measure 5, and we'll play to the end of the last measure here. And ready, go. Okay? Now when we get to that spot in the music, you see we have the words DC, al fine, right? DC means da capo, which means we go back to the beginning, right? And then al fine means we play until we see the word fine, right? Or the end, okay? So when we get to the very end where we just stopped, we go all the way back to the beginning and play the first 4 measures again. At the end of the 4th measure, you see the word fine. That means that's where the piece actually ends, right? So when we put all this together, we play measure 1 through 4, and then we play measure 5, 6, 7, and 8, and then we play measure 1 through 4 again, right? And now, dynamically, you can see we decrescendo the roll in measure 4 down to piano, right? And then we stay piano until we get to the end of measure 8, or until we get to the beginning of measure 8, and then we get louder again to take us back to the mezzo forte for the da capo back to the beginning, okay? So we're thinking 3 measures at mezzo forte, decrescendo in measure 4, then we play soft for 3 measures, and then we grow for a measure, and then we play mezzo forte again for 3 measures, and then decrescendo to the end, okay? So here we go, let's put the whole thing together, all the way from the beginning. 1, 2, ready, go. All right, so that's all of number 112, right? We started with the scale and arpeggio to get used to the shape of the keyboard. Hopefully you found that helpful as we started to put the piece together, right? Especially in the second half of the piece, right, where we're just moving around within the scale. Hopefully you found practicing that scale to be beneficial in that passage especially. Keep an eye on your dynamics as you're practicing this, right? Especially during the roll. Sometimes it can be tricky to control how loud or soft you're rolling, especially if we're trying to get louder or get softer during a roll, right? So pay attention to that as you're practicing, right? And then also be careful with the form. Remember the da capo at the end that takes you back to the beginning, and we play the first 4 measures again at the end. All right, so happy practicing, and I will see you next time.